Hello, welcome to the Law Library's brief video introduction to where to find legal research resources on the subject of corporation and business organizations law. First, we'll start with the Law Library webpage. We'll go to our main sources here. We scroll down after we get to the Law Library webpage to our online resources so that we can easily access the main databases that I'm going to show you: Bloomberg Law, Lexis, and Westlaw. So click these. You should already have your accounts, link into them. We will start with what's available on Bloomberg Law. So here we are on the main page. Here I'm scrolling down. We're going to look mainly at the practice centers and tools. So we click there. Now we specifically find these having to do with corporate, docket, etc. There's a tremendous amount of information here. The Corporate Practice Center at Bloomberg includes state and federal cases, statutes and regulations, Delaware Chancery Court dockets, drafting guides, forms, and secondary sources from the ABA, from the Practicing Law Institute, and others. So you can find a tremendous amount of material here. I strongly recommend that you take a look at the intelligence centers here and the practice centers and tools for Bloomberg Law. Next, we will take a look at what is available on Lexis. We're going to start here. We log into the main page. We're going to look at the practice areas here. As you can see, for Lexis, for the practice areas, we have corporate and M&A. So let's take a look at what information they're going to have. I'm not going to set it as my default page, but I am quite interested. So here we are in a specific database with corporate mergers and acquisitions or M&A related. We can search here immediately. We're already in this database, or we can take a look at the huge number of offerings here: trends and insights, due diligence, M&A provisions, etc. There are also, as you know, there are tremendous amounts of cases, statutes, regulations, and secondary sources that you can find. We can also go back. I want to show you on the practical guidance side. We click that, and again we find, as I said, the corporate M&A, and it's the useful way to find it quickly. And it has also state-specific business and commercial practice areas research. And there are also state-specific business law materials that include some of the largest states, New York and California, and so forth. So that is the main place to find this kind of information on Lexis. Of course, you can always do your regular searches through the Lexis bar. Finally, well, almost finally, in terms of the paid databases, we will take a look at Westlaw. In Westlaw, cases, statutes, regulations, and secondary sources, as well as forms related to corporations and business organizations law, can be found both in the corporations and the corporate governance practice areas. So we will click the practice areas here, scroll down, we see corporate governance and corporations. We'll just take a look again at what is in the corporations database, and we find quickly that we can sort according to forms, briefs, trial documents, expert materials, as well as the standard primary sources, cases, rules, regulations, and also search secondary sources. If we want to have an idea of what kinds of secondary sources are here, for instance, we merely click and we get at that stage a list of the types of secondary sources related to corporations law. Last but not least, I want to show you what is available through our sister library, Axon Library, through library guides, okay, because corporations and business organizations law tends to be somewhat interdisciplinary. So I want to point you to the Hofstra University Library Guides, LibGuide Subjects, Accounting, Taxations, and Business Law. Here you'll have all kinds of guides specifically to general business law, as well as others that Axon Library makes available to you, and I hope that you will find these and other resources useful in your research.